He's going through it right now. Jaden Ivey, right? Number 31, right? He's going through it, right? Think he just lost his wife because he had a porn addiction. Um, he was dealing with some in-house issues. I don't really care about, the Bulls waving him. Like, no job that we get is going to be permanent. So let's not even talk about, him getting waived by the Bulls, right? He'll find his way back into the league somehow. And it may not be this league, it may be another league. He might play overseas. But the reason he was having in-house issues because he couldn't deal with the social pressures that is handled in America, right? And I say this, right? Anybody that leaves Detroit, they leave with mental issues. Anybody that leaves Detroit, they leave with mental issues. Um, the city is inadequate. I look at Detroit, right, and I say, how can you sit on the bank of an ocean, right? The bank of a river, the bank of a lake, um, and not live the way that you would think the people here before everybody came had lived. You see what I mean? Like, I look at Papua New Guinea, I look at all these other places that live near like widespread of water. And you know, they all have good mental health. You know what I mean? Like they all have good mental health. But for some reason, like the people in Detroit, like they suffer from mental illness. Um, and that kind of goes like a lot of way of saying is just, you know, not having money, not having a purpose, not having a team that identifies with the same social cues as one may have. I mean, look at this. He's in a prime of his career and he's dealing with social issues such as mental health. He opened up. He said he didn't feel loved as a kid. He didn't feel loved. He took it out on by sleeping with multiple women, you know? So this is the thing about the woke culture too. Like, when we open up about being Christian, right? Does this automatically mean that we're gonna someday become Catholic? Because look at his situation, right? He's Christian and he married a Catholic woman. No matter if she says she's Christian, right? No matter if she says she's Christian. I don't think anybody has more Christian values than Ethiopia. And the reason I say that is because they actually practice Christianity in its orthodox form. He's Protestant and she's Catholic. You see what I mean? So it was only pronounced that eventually she was going to leave, like most NBA athletes experience. And I have a lot of respect for Luau Deng because like Luau Deng, he kind of knew what was going on and he didn't fall for that. Like I'm not finna marry a white woman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he chose a woman from Africa. And his relationship with his kids and his wife is phenomenal, right? He doesn't have the social problems that people in America have. Like, wouldn't it make sense if you just like marry someone from the neighborhood or something like that, had kids with someone from that neighborhood, made sure like if you would have gone through a divorce or something like that, that she got the money as a last resort, as a last resort. The money is finna go to some hidden fund, some hidden account. You know what I mean? Like, but like this is what we expect though. This is what we expect. Um, the brothers who are still in the hood, right? They got to look out for themselves. Like there's no, cause like once you make it to the league, right, and you do things opposite of the community that raised you, then I think at that point, like you got to think like, okay, your black, you no longer have a black card. You no longer have a black card, and this goes for all NBA athletes, right? Because this messes up everything that we've worked for since the '60s, since the '40s. This messes up everything. Like the Chicago Bulls are like Jerry Reinsdorf now. They like, we got another one. We got another one. You know what I mean? So, but like it's expected, right? If you live in Babylon, right, you're gonna suffer from the norms of living in Babylon. Like what's what comes with that, right? Drunkenness, nakedness. You're gonna have to deal with those norms. You know what I mean? Like we put ourselves through these situations, and I don't feel sorry for no NBA athlete, right, who made it to that level, right, and didn't know how to conduct themselves. All the opportunity is handed to you. All you have to do is reach back and get someone. That's all you have to do. At that point, it's not even about you anymore. Just reach back and get someone. Make sure that you stay in the league. You see what I mean? And this is what I mean though. Like I know Dr. Umar Johnson is like, wow, all these NBA athletes, these NFL athletes, why are these athletes getting into these type of problems? Like who was just in the news? Tiger Woods for DUI and marital issues. Like they're getting into these relationships with these women, right? And they think it's gonna be smooth, like everything's gonna be handed to them. Then next thing they're having therapy sessions, marriage counseling, and it isn't going the way that they thought it would go. You know what I mean? Like it isn't going the way that they thought it would go. So I pray for him and his family. Hopefully he sees his way through this, and he becomes a better person. Yeah, like I read the Bible, I read the Quran, I read um proverb. I read all the proverb lessons that they classify as Buddhism. I read all those lessons, right? Japanese proverbs, Chinese proverbs. I read them all. But I stop after a certain period of time when I notice that like it's not conducive to African spirituality. Like it isn't conducive to it. That's when I stop, and then I go into another direction. You know what I mean? Because like to have African spirituality, you have to have nationality. Nationality is religion. You have to practice it, you have to practice it into existence. You just can't read the word and try to carry it out, and then you're stepping in a hole right there. You don't know the hole right there, and then you fall into it. That's not religion. That's belief. You have to practice all forms of religion, and nationality is one of them. So I hope he understands this, and if no one does, then I don't know what to say. Great peace, Yakoki.